Hi, very good to see you. Thank you for your interest. It's the first time for me at this event, and I really want to thank the organization team for having me. Interesting event so far, looking forward to it. So, how mobile apps drive performance in omnichannel retail. Let's start to get a feeling of how you guys use apps. How many of you use shopping apps? Can you put the arm up? Okay, that's quite a lot. How many of you use beauty shopping apps? Okay, yeah. Hopefully, the next 20-something minutes will extend that ratio even further. Before we jump in, for those of you that don't know Douglas, we are the #1 omnichannel premium beauty destination in Europe. We have operations in around 22 European countries, operate around 1,900 stores, growing at the moment in the number of stores. We do this with roughly 19K employees, a whole lot of them beauty advisors in the stores, are based in Düsseldorf in Germany, and do around 4.5 billion euros of revenue in the last fiscal year, around a third of that online. And besides the brand Douglas, within the Douglas group, there is also Niche Beauty, Parfum Dreams, and Nocibé. That's our brand in France. Who am I? Well, I'm Mike, 10 years in the industries, 5 at Douglas. I joined the e-commerce team at Douglas at the first week of lockdown. So that was exciting times. Turns out if you close close to 2,000 stores for an omni-channel player, e-commerce has a lot of stuff to do. And then we grew our team, which is called E-commerce Performance Management, which is designing and managing the marketing mix, allocating performance marketing budget, and doing app acquisition at Douglas with 12 people at the moment. So, the app industry. Why the hell do we need another app? There is 5 million, more than 5 million apps available. There is iOS and Android, and there was a time there was also a Huawei App Store gallery. I don't know if that's still a thing. And each and every one of you, on average, uses less than 20 apps. Now, if you think of your own behavior, a few of those apps are going to be social networks, messengers, payment, banking, lifestyle, for this event, maybe the event app. So nobody waited for the next shopping app. And I think all of us, a whole lot of retailers here, a whole lot of brands and D2C shops need to be true to themselves if they know nobody waited for your app. But if you do apps, you have to commit. Why? Because there is an entry barrier. Yeah? In e-com, it's hard enough to attain traffic to your website because you have to pay. There is no Laufkundschaft, as we say in Germany. All of you know that. But for apps, there is an entry barrier more. You have to install the app from the App Store. So, highly competitive industry, nobody waited for your app, and the #1 takeaway is, if you want to onboard users to your app, give them a reason why. Why should they use your app over your web shop? And I'm very happy to show you how we answered that question for us at Douglas. Where are we today? Very proud. The journey started around 5-ish years ago. Today, we are at more than 3 million monthly active users across Europe. Users that have used the app during their customer life cycle have a double the lifetime value than an average user. We are the #1 beauty shopping app. And one KPI that is our North Star metric is we make more than 40% of our e-com revenue in apps. Please beware with the KPI on the top right. I am having relentless talks internally whenever we have launched an app in a new market in the past. Everybody is very excited because in the first few weeks and months the KPIs look wonderful. But of course, it's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your best customers will onboard to your app first. So it's about, can you sustain the cohort performance? Can you make a user better if they change from web to app? Can you make a customer behave more frequently? I believe you can, and I believe you should focus on that, but don't get blended by the first couple of weeks and months with the first 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 customers. How did we get here? Well, I believe there are 3 consecutive steps in an app acquisition lifecycle. Number 1 is you need to grow an install base, both on Android and on iOS. I believe 3 vital steps for this are cost per install performance marketing, onboard of your existing customers, and integrate it into all your touch points. That's the easiest one. Who of you has an app? And if I open the homepage, I can see that you have an app. There is no reason to. There should not be a TV spot without your app. There should not be a visual on Instagram. There should not be a newsletter without an app download button. Integrate it into all touch points. It's cheap. Use your own media for that. With that, you will onboard digital customers and are not as dependent on the cost per install performance marketing, because it's not cheap to buy installs. One interesting thing, I believe, and a takeaway that I learned too late, so hopefully you won't do the same mistake again, is that every marketing partner in the app industry is designed for gaming. A lot of the business in the app industry is in gaming, but there are different kinds of rules and logics that apply versus a shopping app. A game is open 10 times a week. My Douglas app, or maybe your shopping app, is opened 2 times a month, yeah? And that would be quite good. So be careful. Don't let them tell you everything. Make your own assumptions on, is this true for us? Do I really need to pay €3 for an install that never gets a customer? Number 2, let's say you've successfully grown an install base. You need to activate them. That is probably the most important part of the whole journey. How do you activate an install base of 100K installs down there on smartphones? But if nobody uses it, apps get deinstalled automatically. Yeah? Wonderful. So you need to give usage incentives. That is purely commercially driven. Of course, also product driven, but in the first sense, commercially driven. Start your sale a day early in-app. Launch the next product line a week exclusive in-app. Keep reminding that. Tell them every time. Your customers tend to forget. I can tell you. Commercial integration is key. For us in beauty, of course, that is, I know Notino and Flaconi also around the corner here at this expo, they can sing a song about that too. It is all about peak days, yeah, and all about beauty shopping occasions. Singles Day, Black Friday, Christmas, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day. There is not a single reason to not use your app on those special days and have a strategic goal in mind. We will probably give a discount to Black Friday. But why shouldn't your discount be a bit bigger on Black Friday in the app? So you get a strategic buyback for the margin that you invest. And number 3, engagement. That is one big thing that we tend to forget is the basis of all of that, of why apps make sense versus web, is people are logged in and people stay logged in. And if people stay logged in, you can personalize. We all know that from Netflix. And we should also think of that as retailers, as brands, as D2C shops. With a logged-in customer, you can personalize the start page. You can personalize the search results. You can personalize the push notifications. The better, more personalization, better the conversion rate. Marketing automation then comes into play. If you have an active user base, of course, you can do fancy stuff, yeah? Customer data platform, marketing automation. Maybe my dad is buying always on the 10th of December because he's always searching for a gift for Christmas. So why not nudge him before Valentine's Day as well? Because you can segment and say, hey, that's a gift buyer. He doesn't need the skincare recommendation. Something that a logged-in customer in an app opens for you. Okay, so far the theory. Now let's jump into what we did and present a few selected highlights from the past. As I said, we really kickstarted the app journey 2020. And we set a mission. And we said we want to grow into a top 10 shopping app in Europe. Well, how do we measure that? Of course, there are app charts. There is monthly active usage, which is a very often selected KPI in the app industry. But does that really matter for retail? I'm not so sure. What for us matters is our North Star KPI, we call it app share. How much of the e-com revenue is being done in apps? And as you can see, I'm very happy that we approached the 50% mark in our North Star KPI there. Then, something that I'm very proud of is we are omnichannel. So it's not only about e-com. But if you are, as we are, a bit of a legacy player with 1,900 stores and an online business, you have a cultural topic at hand. A beauty advisor in the store, or your store employees, might feel that the app is kind of a threat to them. And I get it, because they see customers every day walking into the store, showing them that, why don't you have it here? I've selected it. I've checked out the availability. Maybe it has a better price because there is an online promotion. So there's a lot of frustration. And we solved that with bringing app KPIs into the target system of each and every store employee. So we made QR codes. It's always the boring answer, isn't it? So we made QR codes, individual for every store around Europe. And we said, help us in bringing the app to the existing offline customers, and you get a reward. And we implemented it into the bonus system. So what happened was, there was kind of a gamification thing happening. Area managers reporting, oh, there's more installs in Rome than there is in Naples. Southern Europe being especially competitive in that sense. But with that, we onboarded both the beauty advisors, so our own employees, and of course, existing offline customers. This really kick-started us forward. And then I already touched briefly upon it, commercial integration. For us, app is and was always a peak day vehicle. Singles Day, Black Friday, that's usually when we all look at the app charts and think, oh, are we number 1 or number 2 this year? Yeah, because that's the big gifting and self-love occasions in the year. Mother's Day, Valentine's Day. And the cohort performance is actually quite sustainable. You would be surprised if you say, oh, but they only download the app because of an install, because of a discount. No. If you have a product that gives a usage incentive from the product, they will come back because they notice quite quickly, and we all know that from our own behavior, if the app is superior to the web. And if it is, they will come back. So with that, you invest in a sale rather than in marketing, but you get the sale and the user into the app. Okay, so our app strategy today is based on 3 pillars, and I would briefly give you an overview, and then I will hurry up so that we can have a talk and a bit of a dialogue. Number 1, for us, it's a profitable growth driver. Both e-com and offline journeys benefit from having the app because it's the superior shopping platform versus web. You have less paid traffic in there. Your cost per orders, your unit economics on each and every order make more sense. You have a higher conversion rate because of better personalization. You have a better an improved monetization potential for the traffic. Because if a user is logged in, we can serve better retail media ads. Everything makes more sense in app. Number 2, it's a loyalty platform. You see that recently with the colleagues from Rewe having switched from Payback to their own system. I'm using this app daily now when I go and do my grocery shopping. You see this at Lidl Plus using the app as a loyalty platform. You see it as at DM using it as a loyalty platform. You can later. Okay. Number 3, it's an omnichannel connector. There are use cases also offline for your app. For us, that's very easy. Somebody comes into an offline store, wants to check out something, and the use case for opening the app changes from being at home. Because what differentiates an offline and online journey is reviews and ratings. You don't have reviews and ratings offline, but you can have them in the app. So our app asks you if you are in a store at the moment, and then it will prioritize on the PDP reviews and ratings to enhance this part of the journey. And now some real-life examples. First pillar, Douglas app is a profitable growth driver. Why is it? Because you can use native features of the smartphone. On the right side here, you will see me testing out the beauty mirror feature with the smartphone camera and some smart algorithms behind applying face care, skin care, color cosmetics. We have a skin analysis tool where you can kind of scan your skin profile and get personalized recommendations for the products that you should use based on your skin. And now, this look of the month might not be perfect for me, but the look of the month, of course, is also a great opportunity for partners from the industry to present themselves and to present new product lines. Number 2, again, it's always the boring stuff. Having our loyalty card in the wallet and in the app increased engagement twofold for the app in offline. That looks very boring, but that's what counts. Really think about the use case that different customer cohorts have and serve them, even if it's an easy answer. It doesn't have to be the fancy stuff. And then something that we are very proud of is our social commerce part on the right side here. Now, we have enriched our platform with live shopping and social commerce clips. What this means is that a customer can do a live clip of how he smells a perfume, describes it, basically a bit of the social approach, but on our platform. And if you are now in a store, you can open and scan a QR code, you are on the product detail page, and you will get to the product that you stand in front of in the store, real-life applications from the users in app. That for us is omnichannel. Number 3, again, omnichannel connector. In-store mode, scan for reviews, digital receipt, quick checkout, all of those enhancing features is what we see is bringing a whole new cohort onto the app. These people don't want to shop online, and that's fine. We don't care if they shop online or offline. We care that they shop at Douglas. And we recommend them to shop in the app because it's the superior shopping platform. And with that, let's bring it to Q&A.
Hi, thank you for your talk. Hi.
It's a bit hard to see for me, so okay.
So in e-commerce, there's a lot of talk about conversion rates and performance. Is there a KPI that you consciously ignore because in practice it's not very useful, it doesn't measure it as well?
A KPI that doesn't measure what?
No, so if there are KPIs that seem important, but in practice they don't really measure any success, or are there any KPIs that you consciously ignore?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say forget about that one KPI, but I would say be very specific about what KPI you use and what use case. I'll give you a brief example. We launched product availability checking on the product detail page in-app, and our conversion rate went down. Why? Because people from another use case cohort start to use the app to check for availability in a store. And that's good for Douglas, but it's bad for the conversion rate. Yeah? So rather go one step deeper, look at the micro conversion rate of the product detail page. So you have to be specific. Yeah? I can't tell you forget about the conversion rate. Yeah? But when I'm on stage here, maybe if I'm off stage, but you get my point. Yeah?
Awesome. Okay, I see another hand over there. Here you go.
Hi, Mike.
Hi.
Thank you. Great presentation. I'm a Douglas user, app user.
Great.
Amazing. You guys are doing a great job. I wanted to know, as an active user, I feel certain hesitance about social commerce. Is that something that you're investigating? Are you learning, looking at? Is that the voice that echoes through your community, or is that just in a single?
Excuse me, can you speak up a bit?
Sure.
So you feel a certain hesitance?
Yes. Personally, I feel social commerce could be a good deal, but could also have a darker side, because we see on social media platforms, there's a massive influence which is not authentic. So my question is, do you feel that kind of hesitation from your current community as well? Or is that something that is a one-off personal experience?
I don't think there's an easy answer to it, but to me, what we see is that the people that create on our platform is a very closed group of people. Yeah, we currently have around 8,000 creators live on the web, on the platform, and it's pretty hard to grow that number even further. But it's pretty easy to grow the number of people that are consuming the content of those 8,000 people. So the ones that are consuming are growing and growing and growing, and also the KPIs. If during a visit, one of these clips is being looked at, the conversion rate is higher, manyfold. So it is very well received, but it's very hard to scale the creators. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. There's another question over here, and then I'll come up front. I see your hand.
Hello, thank you for the interesting presentation. So my question is, you mentioned about in the app, usually you give more discount or more attractive rabat compared to website. So how do you control the discount scheme so that it's not jeopardize your company's profitability? Because then everyone will just shop from the app if it's more interesting.
Yeah, very good question. Maybe I had to clarify. So we do not always give higher discounts in app. But on certain occasions, we believe that giving an extra incentive in app, being it free shipping in app or an extra GWP, or maybe a voucher for the second order, or maybe a higher quarter discount, is worth it, because the users that I onboard during this measure, I don't have to buy them via marketing. And I want to have them anyways. And what we see is that through these quote-unquote organic measures, the customers that we onboard to app are better than the ones that we would do with the same invest in marketing. That's the reason we do it.
Awesome. Thank you. We have another question in the front.
Yeah, thank you. Very awesome
Hi.
presentation. You talked about the omnichannel strategy. What is the most valuable omnichannel feature you developed at Douglas?
I think it's the in-store PDP. So talking about app, yeah, it's in-store product detail page. So we asked you based on a few signals, geolocation, if you give us the opt-in for that and stuff like that. We ask you if you are in a store while you are opening the app. And we believe it's a completely different use case than somebody who opens the app now, who is not in the store. So we show reviews and ratings at the top, and we show availability at the top versus what you would normally show at the top in an e-commerce environment, which is highly conversion rate optimized. But the conversion rate offline is, as most of us know, is not comparable to the one online. So you need to do different things there.
Awesome. Thank you. We have another question over here.
So you said you do discounts in the app for certain occasions.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just wondering, so if it's like €3 for the person to install the app, and like how much you spend on the campaign for those specific reason, like for people just to install app, and how much you're giving out with the discount in the app, is there like difference? How much is like to keep them, or like what's the more effective? Like where's the ROI sits there with the discount and just paying for the people to install the app?
Yeah, so I'm very comfortable sharing that for us, it has the higher ROI to give an incentive to use and install the app versus buying the install. Maybe not at the first sight, but if you look over a time frame, the cohort performance is better versus marketing bought installs.
Awesome. There's another question in the very back over here.
Hello. So I have a very interesting question about it. So how do you make sure that you stay ahead from the competitors in terms of building the traffic, as well as when you make sure that the conversion rate is also happening? Like what is a key thing you consider in mind while you stay ahead from competitors?
Well, I mean, you will never be the same. You will never be alone on the market, yeah? And, of course, we also look what the competition is doing, and some type of what they're doing we are valuing very highly. For some things we have a different opinion, but in the end, we believe that product-driven innovation, use of native features, use of everything that the web shop does not give you will be the key to staying ahead from them.